Yeah, y'all know what time it is. Mad Izm Sports time with your man and them. Hakim Green is your man. I'm gonna bring in and them.
I'll be there. I'll be in them. That ain't no problem.
Yeah, I'm waiting for Cliffy. He got his thing up, but got the homie Wes Henderson in the building. Got ew. Cliffy looks spiffy.
What's good, fellas? What's
You got,
good?
you got a little button up on there, brother.
Oh yeah, little
Oh,
zatched out, buttoned up. You know what I mean?
I mean. Cliffy looking spiffy. No doubt. We got a lot to talk about. It's getting thick. Conference finals is popping off. A lot happening off the court, field, diamond, XYZ. We're gonna get into all that. But you know how we do. Go ahead, hit jewelry. I need y'all to like, subscribe, share, hit that bell so you know when Mad Izm TV, Mad Izm Sports is going live.
Dr. E
And them.
and them.
And them.
And them. Yeah, and them. Dr. E is going through it right now. So we'll run jewelry, invite, share, get people into the building. Let's have a lively discussion, ladies and gentlemen. And yeah, that's how we're going to do it.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yeah. This goes out to every old head who took the time to drop a jewel on me. You know what I mean? Little bits of wisdom. Yo, check it out. Listen. If pimpin' ain't easy, what the fuck is revolution? Rappers be spitting straight noise pollution. Here's a clean glass of water, I show you how to eat the live. What goes around comes, let me show you how to give. That's something that you hear when an honest at your ribs. In the street, keep up your jewels, thug you like baby bibs. I try to stay mindful, write something for the kids. Talk it like I walk it, rap it how I live. I came up blue collar, strive to be a scholar, but I couldn't eat the love, I only starved without the dollar. Depression, the stress is enough to make you holler when the landlord's at your doorstep. The devil's on your collar. It's all like jewels. Can I drop a jewel? Can I drop a jewel? Can I drop a jewel? Yeah. It's all like jewels. Can I drop a jewel? Can I drop a jewel? Can I drop a jewel? Yeah. They call me a slacker, cause I won't sell crack for the cracker. I call women queens and I love the berry blacker. Some chicks get it twisted, they'd rather be called bitches with their ass in the air like everybody's supposed to kiss it. It's a simple lesson, you get what you deserve. It's life a bitch or just a pimp with a perm. See mommy tricked out, made a little heartburn. It's something she'll forget when it's time to take her turn. When will the children learn this was better to earn? But when my niggas put in work, they like to make the metal burn. End up in the system, it's all systematic. Maturing candidates, waving automatics. A product of a project launched in the 80s. Chemical warfare meant to kill the crack babies. Now as the world turns, is it just a story? Cause keeping it real got my sons in purgatory. It's all like jewels. Can I drop a jewel? Can I drop a jewel? Can I drop a jewel? Yeah. It's all like jewels. Can I drop a jewel? Can I drop a jewel? Can I drop a jewel? Yeah. In between heaven and Hades, like earthquakes in Haiti. The fat lady clears her throat, then plays harp for the baby. They say I'm such a mystic, lyrics are mythic, but I make it so plain with details and specifics. I'm just gifted like that. I'm young and I'm black, so represent the game. I represent the fact that God helps those who helps themselves. So when God helps you, He's really helping Himself. Make every day have purpose. It's the science of life. Every breath's another roll. It's a science to dice. Give me the moment. Learn from your mistakes. Try to learn from others. You get one roll at life, you won't get another. You have to learn the tricks. Cause some niggas be on the gab. Want some funny business, but that shit won't make you laugh. I thought he had the bread, wasn't wonder not the weed. I'm wondering how it's coming back, cause my connect ain't getting beat. It's all like jewels. Can I drop a jewel? Can I drop a jewel? Can I drop a jewel? Yeah. It's all like jewels. Can I drop a jewel? Can I drop a jewel? Can I drop a jewel? Yeah. Yeah. Can I drop a jewel? Can I drop a jewel? Can I drop a jewel? Dr. Coach E.
Yes,
Can
sir.
I drop a jewel on him, brother?
Drop him.
You know what I mean? Can I drop a jewel on him, Cliffy? Uncle Cliffy?
Yeah. What up, Coach?
What's happening, Cliffy?
How you feeling?
Good, man. Good.
Yeah, so just as a heads up, ladies and gentlemen, that was Jewelry by your man Hakim Green, produced by Ron Lawrence, out right now on all distribution platforms, digital distribution platforms. A big shout out to Media Famous and the fine folks over there for helping making it go. That said, hold on. And them.
Fellas, good to see you.
Yeah.
Yeah, brother. So, conference finals kicked off. We're in the middle of it. But before we get there, I just want to touch on some things, unplayoff related, kind of, sort of. Chris Paul no longer in the playoffs. I know last time we were on, we were kind of singing his praises and showering him with all type of flowers and all types of stuff, and he just like hit that cliff. No pun intended, Spliffy.
Man, did he?
He hit 37.
37, and he literally fell off that beast, yo.
So what do y'all think that's about? I want to get your take on it.
He hit 37, man.
I mean, come on, man. It can't just be that. For him to be he looked like prime Chris Paul until that day.
I think it was literally the timing of everything, because when you hear them tell it after the fact, basically what J Kidd do, and you got to realize that about him. I mean, he was a guard. He knows how to, push the buttons and control the pulse of a team. But he started, pounding Chris down from game one. And I think by game three, it was just too much. I mean, he was going at him from the beginning of the game. He was switching on him. He was have everybody being physical on him. And by game three, he was shot, man. He was legitimately a different player, yo. I mean, he just looked like trash.
Wow, it's amazing.
He was able to. Jason Kidd was able to reach his players in a way that Monty Williams wasn't able to reach his, and I think like Cliff said, I mean, he wore Chris Paul down, but he convinced Finney-Smith and Bullock that if they go out there and just harass this guy, don't worry about anything else, because now he has to go guard. One of them got because they were doing it to Booker too. They both played tremendous against Booker too, and that freed up Luka, because Luka didn't have to guard anybody. They guarded those two guys were the hardest two people to guard. And then you got on the flip side of that, one of them, Booker or Chris Paul, got caught in pick and rolls against Luka. And they were both too small and he was way too physical. So you got a fresh superstar on one side on the offensive end killing you, and you got a unfresh, used to be superstar.
Old cat.
Yeah, but I mean, we saw Chris put up 40 some odd points in the series before. Yeah. He's dishing out dimes left and right. He's controlling the flow. He looked like prime Chris Paul. He got to all the spots. He's unbothered. He's like, and then against these guys, it was like.
But if you look at how those games were played, Hawk, it was because he wasn't pressured early. He got everybody involved. He maintained his energy, and then when it came to closing time, boom, he did his thing.
I think what we're seeing is coaches who are from a different era, who played the game, who understand the playoffs are supposed to be physical. And if you make it physical, these guys aren't capable of adjusting because they played a whole season of non-physical ball. So they get to the playoffs. Now they're being bumped. They're being, just defended, tough defense. And you said, Wes, was Luka, who can't guard anybody, didn't have to guard anybody.
Yeah.
So
that's it.
On the other end, and Jason Kidd, I thought, was genius. I thought Boston's coach showed against the Nets, that, hey, superstars don't like physical, tough defense, because it takes away their legs, especially good shooters. And it's the way playoff basketball is supposed to be.
And then what's the like again? We can keep on ignoring the fact that we all understand the game for the most part. Everybody on this panel, everybody knows that the way to stop somebody is to make them play defense.
Mm-hmm.
And so on both sides. That's been a formula that doesn't take analytics. It is just a fact. If you force a scorer to make his decisions on defense, those legs are not the same on offense. Mm-hmm. And that's pretty much what they got away with. And you just got to wonder in the Golden State series, when you have Poole, I don't want to get into that because we didn't get into that second, but I'm just saying in that series, it's going to be different for Luka because it depends on really, really Wiggins, to be honest with you. Because if Wiggins becomes aggressive, then, Luka can't hide on defense. That's the epitome of it all.
Mm-hmm. And he was aggressive that first game, but to Coach's point though, as far as physicality, it showed in that game one in the Miami series. I mean, Celtics was doing whatever they want that first half. They got real physical that third quarter, and Miami blew the rocks off them. And it was because, man, they outscored them. What was it like by 25 points in that quarter? Turn that whole series around.
Yeah. Well, before we get into these two series, I wanted to segue into Pat Beverly and him making the rounds, and us critiquing Chris Paul in the way that we just critique Chris Paul. To me, in my opinion, is far different than what Pat Beverly is going around doing.
Absolutely.
I think it's extremely disrespectful. Yeah, it's extremely disrespectful. And I think it's a bad look for ESPN specifically. And the reason why is because they have a very, public beef, a very public. So, Pat Bev put hands on Chris last year.
Yeah.
So it's like having him going around making rounds, kicking Chris's back in is just totally disrespectful. And I want to get you guys.
Well, I don't know if it's disrespectful to Chris Paul. I think it's more disrespectful to the game and the locker room. There's certain things, there's a code. And I think he broke the code of the locker room and the code of the association, the league. Things that are talked about in the locker room or said between players just aren't supposed to be for public consumption. He even went as far as to name guys that he spoke to on the phone with, like, you don't do that. I mean, that's a no-no. So, a lot of the things he said were, of course, personal, and they have a history going back to high school for Beverly and college for Chris Paul. I mean, they have a long history, and we've seen, them play against each other, what has come from that. But I just felt like he broke the code, man. You don't say what goes on in the locker room and what other guys think of somebody. You just don't do that. Just
calling him a cone. You told me.
Yeah, I mean, that was wild. I mean, to call my man, he's like
cone.
The cone. Like,
everybody know you. Everybody know you got to move, Chris.
I mean,
but he was emphatic. He was emphatic on his point. How basically he's saying the whole league had no respect for Phoenix, and they were basically posturing, and then that peak team were just waiting to get at him. Now you can't really blame ESPN for exploiting. Because Pat Bev came in, shot fight, and I saw that first episode.
All right. So here's where I differ. Right, they did what they supposed to do. I'm sure that somebody would have asked to grind against Tom Brady. I'm sure that somebody would have asked to grind against Aaron Rodgers. They're never, ever going to give that person a platform to come bash these people. That's never going to happen, even though it would add to ratings. It ain't going to happen. People would watch that. Ain't going to happen. That would go
against what and who ESPN is and who and what media is.
Well, guess what? They don't sell.
That's what I'm saying. That's kind of what I'm saying.
We sell.
No, I'm talking about from the standpoint, you're not going to ever see these platforms bash a white player, a white superstar like that. Right. So we're just not going to see it. And to ask to see it or to say it's wrong is, that's us thinking that this is an equitable situation.
No, it's us identifying a problem so that we can change it. We can call attention to it and change it. Like, because it's all about narratives. And like Wes does all the time, is call out the narrative that keeps us in a box. Mm-hmm. So by calling it out,
that's how they get their viewership. That's how they make their money. And the only one who could have changed the narrative from the rip, first of all, was Greeny that morning on Get Up before he even got to First Take with Stephen A.
That's what probably got him the first take.
Yeah.
He was so hot, and everybody was
here like, all day, my man, because you are tearing brothers up right now.
They were like making phone calls. They were texting each other. We got to keep Pat Beverly on all day. He did the circuit.
He came back the next day, and during the show, First Take even said, "Oh no, I'll back tomorrow." Like that wasn't scheduled. They just during that time they knew they were getting all this these ratings. It was social media on fire, Twitter, Instagram, everything. They were like, "Oh no, you coming back tomorrow?"
Yeah.
But you know what though, where they played themselves though, and I don't think you're wrong with that synopsis, coach. But I think where they played themselves and where Pat Beverly played himself, he's a hypocrite.
Yeah.
Because in the same vein as he's killing Chris Paul, he's talking about James Harden should get his money.
Right.
And everybody that watched basketball and had two eyes know that James Harden played like garbage, and he's putting James Harden on a pedestal, and he's crapping on Chris Paul, and then he's politicking about he's the best defender. Look at ESPN, you have the numbers. I'm the best defender in the NBA behind with me and Giannis. And I'm sitting there just saying, your stick is corny, dude. Yeah. That's basically what you are. You're corny. Yep. And he's really trying to put in for that ESPN gig because he understands that it's a clown ship anyway. All you gotta do is say the opposite, and you're gonna be on TV every day.
Yeah, yeah.
And he's posturing for that now.
Yeah,
but it's just all these other issues that we go through as a people when we go why because we accept this.
Yeah, because we do this.
We do this.
They don't get. That's why what you said, coach, is right. They're not going to do that to a white player, because they don't want to do that to them. They don't do that to each other. Right. They want us to take each other down, and we do anything for $1. They don't. They do anything for $1, but they just don't do it to each other publicly for $1.
That's right.
They'll do it to each other for $1, but it's not going to be public. That's what I'm saying.
Stephen A. could have shut it all down.
He doesn't want to. He doesn't want to.
He's not going to. He ain't been the same since Michelle Beadle put the smack down on him. Yeah. So we already know like who Stephen A. Smith is. His character has been kind of cemented. He's the C word, not cone. You know what I mean. So it's like you expect and don't expect certain things from certain places, and Patrick, it's just to identify that no, this doesn't have to happen. It happens because we're exploiting once again these people. And
Pat Bev could have got on TV and said, Chris Paul is a Hall of Fame point guard, man. He had a bad couple of games. I'm sure he'll come back next year stronger for it. So back to the code, right? Yeah, he did all that stuff you said. He broke the code. Right. But are we surprised because he broke the ultimate code last year when he pushed the cat in the back?
In the back.
That's the code too. Right. That's a punk code. You push someone in the back.
Face up. Put the hands up.
That's a punk code. So we already know.
He is who we thought he was.
Yeah. I mean, he didn't do nothing that was surprising. He been breaking code since he stepped in the league.
I mean, he even called Stephen A. out. Like he was just like, you know what? I'm here. I got to do everything I need to do to make sure
I get a call back at some point. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And you know what? I don't like it, but I'm not mad at him because look, you put me on a reality TV show right now, y'all gonna see a different Dr. Coach E because I'm trying to get my own show so I can make some money, and further my career. That's what he did.
That's what he did.
That's what
That's what he did.
Yeah,
He didn't care at Chris Paul's expense. He was like, "I'm doing this right here. This is my lane right here. I'm about to run down it."
Yeah, and he even said, "Yo, James Harden, that's my man. So like, yo, I'm going to support this guy because I'm cool with him. I don't like this other dude, so I'm just going to go at him." Yeah, and it was like, really? That's what we doing?
Yeah, I'm of the mindset that we need to establish different standards, and until we do, we're going to get more of the same. Everything from not getting, equitable treatment at hirings and in job positions to getting shot in the back and knees on the necks. We're going to keep seeing it because we don't respect ourselves and we refuse to set a standard beyond money. And it's like, as long as that's what we're going to do, then we keep expecting the poor treatment, and we can't cry about it. We can't complain because we don't want it. We don't really want to change. We just want to get ours.
Well,
that's not good. That's not good.
Hip hop phrase, hip hop song. I love the dough.
A rap song, a rap phrase.
Rap song. So
a rap song.
That's what it comes down to. I love the dough. So
more than you know. Better let it show. I love the dough. Hey.
That's what it was, man. And it was completely evident. And we will see it announced sooner or later. Pat Bev has a podcast, or he has a serious radio show. Something's coming out of this.
Oh, it's coming out of this, definitely.
Yeah, I mean,
he gonna be Big Perk on ESPN next.
Yeah, I didn't watch. I watched a clip of it on YouTube.
Yeah, that's what I did.
But I just couldn't dig into that. I'm not gonna give that my attention and then try to, rationalize what he's saying when I seen him put hands on this dude. Like you put hands on Chris Paul. I already know where you're coming from.
Yep. I shut it down right from that point because he wasn't even arguing from a place of common sense. It was all venom.
Yep.
Yeah, but you got to realize that only a select few know this. A lot of people don't know the backstory, and he even went out his way to say, me and Chris are cool. There's no beef with us. This is no, blah, blah, blah. He even went out his way to sort of just try to justify what he was saying, basically trying to say, this is all real talk. But, we know what it is. But the mass audience don't know what it is.
Eric, Coach, we've been friends since what, 98, 99, something like that, 2000. I've known Cliff since what, 7th grade, 8th grade. I've known Wes since my junior year in high school, 6th grade. I've known Wes, and we've played basketball together, football together. We've done all types of things together now. And I can't ever remember me putting my hands on either one of you, though I may have wanted to a few times. And
you're just too small. That's all. You're too small.
But none of you have ever had to put your hands on me.
No, and don't want to.
Right, but I'm letting y'all know that if y'all ever push me in the back, I don't care how long we go, I got beef.
Yeah.
I got beef. You
pushed me
in the whiplash. You could have ended my career on national television in front of millions of people.
Yeah, there's certain things you just can't do,
bro. We not cool. We can never be cool.
Yeah.
But I mean, and that just showed you where the dude was and who he is. I mean, like he just breaks codes, man. He's a code breaker.
Yeah, habitual line stepper. A habitual line crosser. That's it, right? Yeah. Oh man. All right, so we'll talk about the playoffs. Talk about these games. Anything else before we get knee deep into it? Not okay. Yeah, man. I love how Boston played Brooklyn, and it seems like Miami's giving them a taste of their own medicine. Cliff, you talked about that earlier. The physical play on Tatum, bothering Tatum, just not letting him get comfortable. And then Jimmy Bucket's just stepping up and being like that player, that guy. Do you think it's sustainable for the Miami Heat to keep it going?
I mean, that's who they are, though. Miami is just grimy, not dirty, but just they just gonna get in the dirt and and make it one of those kind of games. That's who they've been. That's their personality. From top to bottom, I'm talking even like Pat Riley. Spoelstra is one of the best at making adjustments and seeing what needs to be done. So I expect Miami to continue this. I just don't know from an offensive standpoint where Miami is from game to game, night to night. Who's going to produce for them? Early in that game, it was Hero. Then second half, of course,
buckets. But Buckets got 20 free throws. That ain't gonna happen every game. Now,
right.
Coach, I have the same questions that Mark's hit you about their offense and being able to sustain that. But we also have to look at the fact that there was no Marcus Smart, there was no Horford. Game one, both of them should play tonight, but the ramifications of Smart not being there, puts Tatum on the ball, which is now how you play him differently. It gives him more responsibilities, both offensive and defensively. So now, with Smart playing and Horford back, this will be obviously a better depiction of what this series is going to be. And with those two guys out, you look at it. I mean, they only lost by 11, and they only lost really the third quarter. They won every other quarter.
What Miami did, which was genius, it was old school like playground. They was like, yo, whoever Pritchard is guarding, that's who's getting the ball. And they just kept doing it or getting him in switches. So, and he can't guard, And once again, back to the point of you make somebody guard who's actually a shooter, then they can't shoot. Their legs are gone. So I just thought it was genius in what they did. And you could tell they made the adjustment at halftime, because it was night and day. And, Marcus Smart is huge for the Celtics. I think we know he's a defender, but just him running the show and what he gives them on the floor really helps them tremendously. And look, Horford he's solid. He's just solid. So you're going to miss guys like that. This is going to be an interesting series, with when those two come back, we really see. But I always get concerned with Miami's offensive production. Who's going to
somebody got to come along besides Jimmy Butler.
Yeah, I was thinking the same. Well, my thing with the game was I was more they didn't have Smart and they didn't have Horford. We got that, but we can't forget that Miami don't got Lowry. Let's not sleep on the Lowry issue either, right? So, but the other thing is, it is very difficult for a team that just came off a 7-game series that plays the way Boston does against Milwaukee and get into a game one in a new style and be able to maintain any type of continuity for 48 minutes in this changing environment. So it was different looks, different strategies, right on the fly, right? Coming off the Milwaukee series, that's a whole different grind. And you got to stop Giannis and that big load coming at you. And now you got all these wing players that can shoot or defend. So it's like a different look. They kind of going on adrenaline early, and then they just got worn down late. So this game is going to be more. I think you'll see a little bit more of what's indicative in the series, because I've seen so many game ones right off of game 7, and the team that wins a game 7 from the prior series
usually
always gets hammered in one of those quarters in the next series. Always.
Yeah.
So,
my heart is telling me.
I agree with Coach too, though. Coach is right about the offense. Miami's got to get offense from a lot of different places. And Jimmy Butler scored 41, and really, Boston was still in the game.
Hero stepped up in points in a big way.
Yeah.
And they had what's that guard that guard that
Strauss.
came out of
Strauss.
It was Strauss, but they got the other guy that was
Vincent.
Oh my God, he came out of nowhere and just
Yeah.
I just don't know if those guys are going to do it on a consistent basis.
That's what I'm thinking.
And
I don't even think Hero's going to do it on a consistent basis once Smart is back.
Yeah, exactly. It's gonna be tough them getting points for somebody other than buckets.
Well, what do we expect from Ben?
I think Ben's going to be who he is. He's going to give you between 15 and 20 and 10 rebounds, but I don't think that's going to be enough. they so physical and athletic at that 4-5 spot for the Celtics.
Yeah.
They could throw different looks at Bam. I don't think
Yeah.
he'd be able to find any consistency on the offensive end. So
yeah, big shout out to JT. He's
I
in
like
the
that.
building.
Yeah, I think play out. I think it's going to really go 7 games because
I think it's gonna go 7-2, and I think it's a pick 'em.
Yeah. My heart is saying Heat, but my head is saying Boston.
I think Boston's
gonna
end up winning.
With the lack of dependable offense coming from the Heat, we might catch some surprises. But who can you depend on? And we know what Boston's coming with, and I think Boston, as the series goes, their defense is gonna really kick in and clamp down. So I can see it going 7. Yeah,
I can see it going 7, but let's also celebrate Tatum and Butler, right? Because they guarding each other and they both accepting the challenge of doing so. And it's so rare. It's so rare that you get these superstars that want to hide on one end. These guys now, Tatum looked bad in the second half of the game, but you're going up against one of the top dog defenders in the NBA, like true two-way players, like not no half two-way player. You got Marcus Smart and you got Jimmy Buckets that are like two of the top 5 dudes on the defensive end in the NBA at their positions, guard their positions. So there's no shame in Tatum having a bad second half against Jimmy Butler.
Well, in terms of this discussion about the next generation, who's the top players. I'm seeing a lot of talk around around Tatum. I think deservedly so, especially this year after since January he's been putting in that work. But it seems like Jimmy Butler gets slept on in that conversation, and every once in a while he'll do something to remind people exactly who he is. What do you think those two guys fit in the top conversation, top 5, top 10?
I think Jimmy Butler's situation is pure relationships. People don't like Jimmy Butler, so you don't like somebody personally. You don't really give him the respect that you don't get the flowers you're supposed to get in the game. I mean, as many people that I look at Kobe Bryant in that regard, because as many people know how good he was, people didn't like him personally, but nobody could deny him inside the 90 feet. I mean, really, there was really nothing you could really slice up about that man's game inside the 90 feet. But outside of it, when you don't like somebody like Jimmy Butler, all he did was tell the truth in Minnesota. That's all he did was tell you who those 2 dudes were in Minnesota.
Yeah.
Right? All he did was come to Philly and take him to Game 7, and Kawhi Leonard beat him on the last second shot, and he was tremendous.
Yep.
And he's one of the only superstars I know that had tremendous playoffs in Chicago, in Philly, in Miami, and in Minnesota, and had one bad playoff last year, and they crush him as if he never did all the other things. Like what JT is saying, he was a killer with the Bulls. He's been solid for a way longer, and I love Jason Tatum. I think Jason Tatum is going to be a future MVP. But right now, Jimmy Butler to me is one of the most underrated basketball players in the NBA.
That's because of the Heat, their culture, and they're not flashy. They're just blue collar. Just go about their business. They do it the right way. They do it with defense, but it's no, you're not going to see them on Sports Center or whatever. You're not going to see Buckets, top plays or whatever, but he's going to do his thing. But he'll get more of his flowers if he gets to another finals and obviously if he win it. But to answer your question, I think both those cats are bottom 10 right now. They may be
bottom of the top 10.
Of the top 10. Yeah,
gotcha.
Bottom of because it's just so many. I mean, their top 3. I mean, you got to be talking about, Giannis, LeBron, and Durant. I mean, interchangeable, those 3. And then from there, I mean, you got a slew of cats that are really good. You got Ja, you got Joker, you got Embiid. You know what I'm saying? And that brings you to 6. So I mean, it's tough.
Well, Curry there. Curry takes you to 7.
Yeah, Curry could be in that second 3 too.
All right.
Then you start talking about
Luka,
Jimmy. Luka. Then you start talking Jimmy, Butler, Tatum, So them guards start coming in. Those guys start coming into the conversation.
Well, there's a point that Wes makes, we all do actually, but I'm starting to hone in on more. And that is defense and being able to play both ways and what a player gives you. When people talk about Luka, James Harden, Luka, he giving you tons of offense. He's giving you very little defense, and he's liable to collapse toward the end of the game and disappear. And he's out of shape, so it's like all these things.
Well, no, he's in shape now.
He could light you up. He could light you up, but the days that he can't light you up, what else is he bringing to the team? That's gonna, where you look at a Tatum or a Butler, there's other things that they're bringing, so they don't really gotta light you up all the time. They can get other. And we're like, where's this other scoring coming from on the Heat team?
Right. Well,
they did finish number 1 in the East, didn't they?
Mm-hmm.
So somebody's there figuring out how to win games.
That Miami culture, and it's been that way for quite some time. Their culture is one of, they do whatever it takes. They bring in guys who are willing to do whatever it takes to win. And I disagree with you, JT. Miami is blue collar. Miami, the city, is not
blue collar, hard hat Miami. No doubt.
Donis Haslam blue collar.
Yeah, they're blue collar.
They're blue collar. And that's who Pat Riley is. And it's funny because Pat Riley gives this image of the slick back hair and the tailored suits, back to his Showtime coaching days. But man, he's always been hard-nosed defense, get after it, toughness. That's who he is. He's a Kentucky blue collar guy. Mm-hmm. And he did it with the Lakers. He did it
with the Knicks.
New York,
even before he went to Miami.
And then he did it in Miami. So the city of Miami, of course, is glitz and glamour. But the culture of that team is just hard work. D Wade was the same way. They're two-way players. Mm-hmm. That's what they're built on.
Everybody but Shaq.
Well, let me tell you, the reason it's about defense.
Shaq
played defense, and he played defense there.
Yeah,
but you know that the culture is real because Duncan Robinson hasn't seen the floor.
Yeah,
he stopped playing defense this year, and he's not playing. Last year, Tyler Hero didn't see the floor. He stopped playing defense. He stopped playing. So they don't care if you got a little mini bag because Duncan Robinson got a little $10 million a year bag, and he thought he was a made man. He ain't seeing the floor.
And when Jimmy Butler went out, remember that game when Haslam was like, "Yo, we don't do that here." When Jimmy kind of got into his feelings and I want to do what I want to do, it's about me. Haslam reeled him in real quick.
Mm-hmm. I whoop your ass.
That's right. That's not what we do here.
He said, no, and literally,
right.
I'll whoop your ass.
Yep.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And Jimmy was like, "You right, you will." All right, let's get back to what we do, fellas.
Jimmy understood crazy. He was like, I'm crazy, but that dude right there,
that's OG crazy.
What's really crazy is because when Spoelstra and Buckets was going back and forth, right? Spoelstra's demeanor was kind of, he was like kind of trying to be the politician. Nah. When Udonis stood up and said what he had to say, Spoelstra was like, "Yeah, now what? You don't want this work? Nah, we're gonna deal with it right now." Center court. He walked into the center court and put on a show because Udonis got your back, huh?
Yeah. No, that's true. That's true.
Oh man, hilarious. Okay.
And speaking to their culture, there's a story about when they were in the bubble that Haslam never slept in the bed. He slept on the floor because he wanted to make it about, we are here to do work. I'm not here to be comfortable. I'm not here on vacation. And that is what led them actually to that championship series in the bubble.
He wasn't there to play many minutes either, but that's another story.
He wasn't even playing. But
you sleeping on the floor. It's not like, you know what I mean?
He was going to coach every day. Yo, coach, my back all jammed up, yo.
But
I don't know what's wrong. I'm not sure what's wrong, but I'm all jammed up, coach.
Just think about the mentality it takes as a player. Here you are, and really, really nice, luxurious
accommodations.
Yeah.
I'm not here for that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm here to make sure we do what we got to do to get to the championship. And he set the tone. I mean, Haslam not supposed to be in the league, man. I mean,
no.
he's supposed to be retired.
He's been averaging 7 minutes a season the past 5 years.
Yeah. And I tell you what, when he come in the game, though, it changes.
It does. You know that work gonna get done on that block. Like somebody gonna get bruised up.
Yep. That's his job.
Yeah. Yep.
That's his job.
All right. So what we think about this Golden State Dallas series?
Well, they doing exactly what they need to do to Luka. They put multiple bodies on him, and it's gonna be the Chris Paul treatment where they're gonna wear him down. First of all, they start with Wiggins, and he's been the main defender, but they got Kuminga. They obviously got they gonna, if it ever gets close, they'll close out with Draymond Green.
Yes.
They got Clay, who's historically has been the best defender in the league against Luka. So they got a number of cats, yo.
You mean James Harden?
And they're all bigger than Luka.
Yeah.
And that's the issue. They're more athletic and they're bigger. So
and then he can't hide in this series. He's got to guard somebody.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
They got to guard somebody. That's his biggest thing. Got to do it. So, and I like I said, he's having a tremendous playoff. But real talk, as much as they keep hyping, saying it's about to be his league, and he's got this team to the Western Conference Finals. The player that he was drafted in behind and traded for did the same thing last year. So he hasn't done more than Trey yet. They got to game 7 against Milwaukee. Just saying.
Yeah.
So it ain't Trey's league, right? It did become Trey's league at this stage. So let's slow down on it. It's his league right now.
Ain't that something else? See how they do?
It's his league. Like how?
But to their but Trey beat the Knicks to get to the next round, and
the Mavs beat a washed Suns. So what we talking about, right? The narrative is the whole league knew they was suspect.
I think Trey beat a playoff team, and so did Luka. They were both playoff teams, right? They both in the playoffs. They both suited up. Everybody suited up. They both played. Somebody got to the Western Conference. Somebody got to the Eastern Conference Finals. Somebody get into the Western Conference Finals, and they both leading their team. Right. They're both the leaders of their squad.
Right.
So
it's not even really. It's not even really Luka versus Trey, as it's Luka versus the field. And what they've already done is, they've crowned him the king of the league. And there are arguments for that from a business, the European market, international dollars, trying to grow the league. I get that, but then you have a Giannis. What do you say about Giannis? He's a European player, but he's an African. He appeals. He if you're gonna play that card, Giannis appeals to more faces, right?
But Giannis is legitimately the best player in the league,
right?
and he's a champion. But look what happened this last week or so. LeBron comes out and says, "Luka is my favorite player." That changes everything right there, because the King James comes out and this guy's my favorite. That's akin to when Jordan said about LeBron, he's next.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing. I mean, whatever it is, you got to prove it, and proving it is winning championships. But when Jerry West is the logo, we get that it's not about winning championships.
No, you don't have to prove it until you're given time. You're given time to prove it. Once they say it,
give this man right away. They don't get his due no time. The table is set. If he sniffed the championship.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like you don't have to do it right away. Like when Jordan said LeBron is next, LeBron didn't win the championship right then. But once they crown you, you're going to get there. And you're going to get a championship.
If LeBron was white, he would have been crowned way before he won a chip.
No. I just said Jordan crowned him.
No, the individual Jordan, I get that, but the league going. This is the king. This is the face. That's different than an
The league
individual.
did that too. They did that too. They followed suit.
Yeah, the league is saying that too. The league is that this guy's league. However,
LeBron had to win a chip.
Let's go.
LeBron had to win a chip. Yeah, he did.
Let's win 40. Let's go 40 years back, because they did the same exact thing and it didn't work out for them. Magic Johnson was out there busting cats in the behind, leading the Lakers to championships, winning national championships against somebody head up.
Yeah. And
they made somebody else rookie of the year. And as a matter of fact, he didn't get one vote, or he didn't get, like, it was a landslide.
I think he got 2 votes.
So they put someone else on a pedestal, and he out here winning it. He already played them head up, went to Boston and beat them, and they still were like, this guy is his league. And it was like that the whole time. Magic had to win that championship to join him in it being their league. But he won first, and then I think he won second. And then in 81, Bird finally broke through. So Magic had gotten 2. Bird got his 1. Then Magic got 2 more. And then Bird ended up getting 2 more. And then Magic got 1 more. And it ended up being 5-3.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. But it was always Bird's league.
It was always Bird's league.
And it's no disrespect to Larry Bird.
None.
It's no disrespect to Larry Bird.
None.
It's just to say that, it's an easier pathway.
Of course.
Yeah, it's easy. It's you kind of want to. So it's and I shouldn't feel this way. I don't want to see.
I don't even know why you
just
do
because of that.
Yeah,
No.
I'm the same way. I like Luka's game, but I don't want to see him win because of that. Yeah, just because
it ain't gonna be this year.
Bro.
No, it won't be this year.
It's going down though. It's going down, and he's going to win a championship, not just because of that, but he actually is a good player, right? And so he's going to have to. I think Jason Kidd is gonna explain to him that when he starts to play defense, Jason Kidd's going to get to him on defensive end. Jason Kidd spent the first 3 months of the season or 2 months letting them do it their way, the Luka way.
Yeah.
Then Jason Kidd started coaching, and Luka started to believe. And it started to change because they were doing it their way, letting okay, you do what you want, because they were struggling early.
Yep.
They didn't want to hear it. And then Jason Kidd started to get through. So he needs to continue to chip away at that young fella. And I think if he does, all he got to do is play a little bit a D. And
I think the other thing they have in their favor in Dallas is Dirk. And Dirk, I think, has the young fella's ear and is saying, hey, Jason knows what he's talking about. Listen to him. And I think I saw something the other day. I don't know if it was a 30 for 30 or what it was on ESPN, to be honest, but it was Dirk and Luka, like one-on-one talking. And they have a kind of mentor-mentee relationship. And it's very similar. And that's how Dallas is trying to build that team around Luka. Because same thing was said about Dirk. He doesn't really defend, was one of the best scorers at the 4-man position.
But he defended in that championship.
Exactly. And, that was the difference. Jason Kidd has already gotten through Luka to get him in shape. Because early in the season, man, he was like, he was carrying pandemic weight.
Yeah, he was. But yeah, definitely Dirk changed that narrative on himself by he wasn't the best defensive player, but he became a terror on the boards, and he just was a willing defender. And he knew
in the league. Willing.
That's it. And to his credit, Dirk is one of the people when I argue about who didn't have anybody. Like, he had an old Jason Kidd, and he didn't have another super duper star. Yep. When he won his chip, he was the superstar. But the thing about it, when Dirk played, and real talk, Dirk played against Chris Webber, the Barkleys, the Carmelones. He was around for the power forward era was the golden era when he was playing. Kevin Durant, Tim Duncan, Rasheed Wallace. He had all of those dudes in the league picking on him and busting him up. And he took all his lumps and came out winning at the end.
Yeah.
So I give Dirk credit for that.
You know, and if the young fella listens to Dirk, he'll be on his way.
Yep.
Off on a quick tangent. Chet Holmgren.
I'm a believer in Chet.
He's skilled though.
Yeah,
he's skilled like a mug, though. He is skilled like a mug.
I just must have missed. I must have been getting popcorn during the NCAA tournament when y'all was watching something else, because I didn't see it during the tournament. I just didn't.
Well,
I watched a couple of Gonzaga's games. I just didn't see it.
I think in the difference in college and pros is you can load up on guys in college by zones and doing different things to really take away what they're good at. You know, in the NBA, because it's really one-on-one, mano-a-mano, it's going to be difficult to stop him because he is so skilled and he's like 7'4", who can shoot threes. Like, who guards him? We talk about Kevin Durant can get his shot off against anybody. So can this kid, you know. So
I bet you Pat Beverly put the clamps on him.
Nah. I mean, look, the only problem with Chet right now is weight. That's it.
That's it.
That is it. Because I mean, he's like Coach said, he's legitimately 7'4". He has handle, like legitimate handle, because he used to be a guard, but then he sprouted up. So he needs weight, and he's shooting over everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, he will be a better version of Porzingis, I think.
He's gonna be a better, taller version.
No.
Of the name I couldn't think of a couple weeks ago.
Talking about Sean Bradley?
Nope.
Talking about
I got the name. I'm gonna let you go ahead and see what you get in. It's not they don't play the same position. Well, who I'm talking about is a guard, is a shooting guard who came out of college hot, and I was like, man, he ain't gonna make the league.
Yeah.
The Joker was like, you wild, he about to be the next this, the next that.
I know who you're talking about.
And he got drafted. It was quickly moved around.
McDermott?
Nope. Jimmer Fredette.
Oh, Jim.
Nah, it's not even close.
Watch.
No.
Jimmer came out in the tournament. He was shooting from the logo.
Jimmer Fredette.
He's next. No, he's not.
Jimmer Fredette could shoot with range, but he couldn't get his own shot off. He couldn't handle the ball. This kid is legitimately skilled at 7'4", can handle, can pass, can shoot it from anywhere.
With that Alabama, they lost to Alabama in the who they lose to?
I forgot who they lost to in the Final Four. I mean, before they got to the Final Four.
There was some.
I think they lost to North Carolina.
There was some janky fouls going on. There was some janky fouls called on, but I didn't see that. I didn't see his game readily translating to the next level.
And he's legitimately been the number one player since he's been in high school. Mm-hmm. Okay, and you don't become the number one player in high school, your whole career in high school, and go to college as number one player and be the number one projected pick in the draft if you're not skilled. Like Jimmer Fredette, nobody heard about him until he went to BYU, started shooting all them jump shots. You know, this kid is skilled. And like I said, the college game is so different from the NBA game defensively, how you can guard somebody.
I definitely got to see it because, like I said, I watched several Gonzaga NCAA games and I just did not see it. I don't know what I'm missing because I heard a lot about him too, and I was excited to see this kid play. And then I was actually looking for him to say, "Where's this kid at? Is he on the bench?" And they said his name. I was like, "Oh, he on the floor?" Because he wasn't having an impact.
Gonzaga ran their offense through the other kid, Drew.
Timmy. They wrote it through Timmy.
Yeah.
Timmy.
Yeah, Timmy. Yeah.
Old school.
Mm-hmm.
Old school.
Yeah, which I think hurt them tremendously. They didn't make Chet the focal point. I think it's going to take some time because, like you said, Cliffy, the weight thing I think is going to be a huge issue. But he's just so skilled, man. And I've been watching him for a while. I mean,
okay, I'm gonna trust you on this one.
Anybody at 7'4",
7'4", yo.
Can handle. He got handles, But the speed of the NBA, the size of the NBA, the strength of the NBA, it could be overwhelming for somebody that light in the pants.
But he's been hearing that
it could be it could for somebody that light in the ass. But I'm just saying, I already know how that goes too. Those brothers know that they like us. You see him walk on the court, you already know what's up.
But he's been hearing that his whole career and has been playing against that his whole career.
Yeah,
I think that's the difference between him and a lot of these other guys, that we tend to write off, and rightfully so, especially the ones that go to Gonzaga. Had he gone to Duke or North Carolina or Kentucky, everybody would be there wouldn't be the same doubts in place.
I agree with you on that.
Had Woody called the police, none of this would have ever happened.
I agree with you on that, Coach.
What's the BS?
I think you're right. If he went to Duke, Kentucky, one of the top 5 schools, because Gonzaga is Mark Few runs a program, a true team program.
Yeah, and a program that never reaches where it's supposed to.
Yeah.
I think once Mark Few gets into the NCAAs, I think he hangs out a little bit too much past his own curfew, and it affects the team, and the coaching.
Yeah, you're probably right. You're probably right on that one.
Yep. So all right, so back to Mavs Warriors. Who we got in the series?
I got the Warriors.
I got the Warriors. I got them in 6.
Yeah,
I think Mavs may get a couple, but I got them in 6.
Yeah, I got them in 6. Warriors in 6.
Yeah, I think it'll go 6. I think they can get 2.
Yeah, I saw some folks saying sweep. I saw some people saying 5-1. I was like, nah, I'm not gonna disrespect.
I don't think the league would allow a sweep.
Yeah,
that's crazy. See, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Thank you. Yeah,
they want that money. You know that.
Nah, yeah.
A sweep just isn't good for the business.
It ain't good for Luka either.
It ain't good for Luka either.
No. I just think you're gonna see some guys get in foul trouble. You're gonna see some guys maybe go into health and safety protocol. You might see a guy.
You went there with it. You
he's
see
right.
Somebody go to health and safety protocol. Oh,
you might see a guy get thrown out for a flagrant 2. You're gonna see some things to make sure there won't be a sweep.
Yeah, there's not gonna be no sweep.
Well, see, I see. Hearing these things makes me think the whole thing is a sham. Then
no, it's just another mechanism.
You didn't think that? I'm trying to. What you smoking?
Another usable mechanism. That's all.
I need to know what you smoking that you didn't even think that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I try to. I don't want to just be.
Are you a true believer?
No, I didn't say I was, but I mean, we've had this conversation. Well, Wes and I have had this conversation. What's my man Tim Donaghy?
Yeah.
Well, I sent it to you. I sent the clip, the interview he did. He did a 6-part series of interviews.
Yeah, I saw it.
And he went in. I mean, he said a lot.
Just basically, he couldn't be the only one in there doing that.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah, and
he was the one to fall down. He was the Houston Astros.
yeah, fall on the sword. He's the one to fall on the sword. Yeah.
Yep.
So there's a town or city, a county in Pennsylvania where like 65% of NBA referees historically come from this one town.
Yeah, I heard that too.
Yo, never knew that. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's not a good look. It really isn't a good look. And I want to hope that when we look at the commentary we're giving, the analysis, the breaking down strategies, and it's not all for naught. You know what I mean? What are we doing? So I'm gonna get off that subject because it is anyway.
It's a tough one.
It's a tough one.
Yeah.
Well, the game fixing and all that other stuff, you're definitely not gonna see it. on any level like it used to be or was, just because now the gambling aspect of it, all these teams have bought into it. All these teams, the gambling aspect outlets that are connected to all of the sports.
Yeah.
I mean, everything is being watched as
in
far
every
as
aspect of the game, like by quarter, by statistical category. You can bet on anything right now in the game. It's ridiculous,
Yeah. Well, hey, listen. So we got Golden State coming out of the West. We got Boston coming out of the East, right? That's okay.
I got Miami.
You got Miami?
That happens,
I got Miami.
Okay.
If you got Miami, I'm not mad at that pick. But if Boston happens to come out the East and it's Golden State and Boston, I want y'all to pay attention to the Marcus Smart Steph Curry matchup. Please.
Woo!
Pay attention, because that man has been putting in work on Steph Curry since he got in the league.
Yes, sir.
That's been an undiscussed topic since they've been playing. Even when Kyrie was there, he was giving Steph fits.
Yep.
That's the matchup to watch.
Wow. Yeah.
That's the matchup right there.
And I want to say my heart is with Miami, but I just think Boston's gonna pull it out.
I wouldn't mind seeing Miami win. I mean, either I don't even care who wins in the East. Be honest with you, I wouldn't care if Dallas won. I just don't feel like throwing up in my mouth with everything that's gonna be Luka. If come on.
Yeah, because I want to see Jason Kidd. I want to see Jason Kidd get his.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I was like,
and
I'm not mad. I don't want to be inundated with just Luka.
Oh my God!
That's what I'm saying.
I actually want to see Dallas get beat so badly that the Mavericks decide to fire Jason Kidd and the Lakers hire him.
Well, that's not.
That ain't happening.
That's not happening. Well,
Mark Cuban is not. He's a lot of things, but he's not stupid.
Man, he loves Jason Kidd. He loves
Jason Kidd.
Yeah.
But since you brought it up, where we at with the Lakers? They doing anything interesting?
I have no idea.
They've been out of the news, which is probably a good thing.
Yes.
The only thing I heard was Phil Jackson wanting to trade LeBron instead of Russell Westbrook. That's the last thing I heard.
Yeah, he wants to build around Westbrook
and Anthony Davis.
And Magic on the other side was like, absolutely not.
Yeah.
So it's who wins out? The beloved Magic, who's been around Jenny since she was a teenager, basically, or her man, Phil.
See, I don't. This is not a reflection on LeBron in terms of skill set, right? But I agree with Phil. If Phil was going to coach Russell Westbrook, because that's the type of personality he knows how to coach.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And he's never been coached.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Great point.
I just feel like that wouldn't be a horrible thing. And LeBron is on another agenda anyway at this stage of his career. We could keep thinking he's not. He's on a different agenda, and it does not match up with him being in LA no more.
In fact, saying that, Wes, the only talk I actually heard about LA this week was about his lawyer just starting a new firm in LA. And their first client is actually Spring Hill, which is LeBron and Maverick Carter's entertainment company. That's actually the only LA talk I've heard this week.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay.
JT just put up Westbrook to Phoenix for Chris Paul talks.
That would kill LeBron, because knowing the relationship between Chris Paul and LeBron as friends, if that didn't work out, I think that would damage his legacy so much, because then it's two moves he's backed, so to speak. It would have to work out.
At this point in both their careers, unfortunately, I just don't think that it's about the ring. It is about the ring, especially you would think for Chris Paul.
For Chris Paul, it's about the ring.
Mm-hmm. Definitely is. He's come so close these past 2 years too.
Yeah, it's got to be.
He can taste it.
Yeah.
And ain't.
Man, I saw the funniest meme the other day. Dude put up, "Yo, my girl keep asking me for a ring." And then it said me, and it had just a picture of Chris Paul. And I was like, Yeah, they doing people wrong.
Yeah, I saw that.
Because Chris Paul he's been so close, but can't get it done.
JT say no. LeBron's facilitating this situation, these talks.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. If he is, then they gotta win. Or I think that
coming close doesn't.
I think that kills LeBron's legacy. As this,
his legacy is what it is right now. It's not. He's not the. I don't think he can do anything to add on to or make himself.
I don't think he can change it.
He can't change it. Like he want to ring right now. It's not gonna.
GM part of him, dictating moves and teams and stuff. I think that would not be good if he, kind of facilitate another move that didn't work out, that didn't end in a championship.
Yeah.
That wouldn't be good for him.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's the move they should have done a couple years ago before Chris Paul signed with Phoenix. They should have got him then.
I think you're right. Yeah. Why wouldn't that have happened? Why didn't that happen?
I don't know why that didn't happen.
In between,
Chris Paul was supposed to be playing with Kobe and Dwight Howard.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
that's
right. They blocked that
didn't let that happen.
That's right. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, man. But all right, well, let's wrap this up. We got a game on right now, gentlemen.
Can we get one more? Let's ask the coach and Cliffy about what they thought about Nick Saban and Deion Sanders.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
And I guess he's trying to walk back what he said already, but that was just trifling. That was just, him complaining, whining, and stomping, not getting, because they didn't have the best recruiting class. And he kind of told on himself, saying, if this continues, we're not going to, like I guess they have to be on top every year. You know what I'm saying? It's like their God-given right,
Well, he all he did was, to me, he shed a light on football side what's been going on the basketball side the past few months. That that's why those guys, these older Hall of Fame coaches, basically hung it up, because they didn't want to deal with this whole NIL situation, and where what they do behind closed doors now is out in the open and they can't control it. Nick Saban is saying now we're kind of on an even playing field, or maybe possibly behind, because if you look at the alumni from, say, a Texas A&M,
all that oil money,
State, some of these other places,
those
and the
deep
amount of money they have access to compared to Alabama, it changes things. And and him just bringing in Prime Time, who apparently they had a good relationship.
Yeah.
What's up?
They're an Affleck commercial.
Yeah.
He just brought him in
that way.
out of
He like
nowhere.
He like good old Deion Sanders. Hey, look at that little shiny Deion.
Yeah.
That's all that was.
But this this energy he's casting out now could be the boosters putting pressure on Saban to say something.
No, I don't even think it's the booster. I think it's I think it's these old coaches who are like, yo, we used to get away and we had an advantage, and now it's gone, and they don't know how to adjust. And I think the Alabama money is different from, say, a Texas A&M money. I just believe that Texas schools and their boosters have a lot more money.
Oh yeah,
than Alabama boosters. I just think that's what it comes down to, and I was disappointed.
But to go after Deion is like, like that to me is a little like, why do that? You just did a commercial, and you guys are supposed to be of good rapport. Why go after him?
But I love Deion's response.
Oh, me too.
Oh my God, it was beautiful. It was beautiful because he put it right there. Like, I don't need to do this for my people to come play.
Yeah, we don't have to get paid. Our people, we don't have to pay our people to play with our people.
For our people. And why wouldn't a cornerback go play for arguably the greatest cornerback ever? Like, why wouldn't you could do that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like,
who's connected? Who's going to teach him some things? You know, he's going to play in. Yeah, listen, the NIL helps too.
yes,
You know, but he was talking out of his face, and
he was
he's
talking out of his face, and he's mad at Jimbo Fisher because Jimbo Fisher understands the game. Because Jimbo Fisher with Bobby Bowden, they've been doing this a long time, and they know where their bread is buttered, and they're not trying to upset that gravy train. And now Jimbo knows that Texas money is deep money, and he understands where his bread is buttered. So he's not gonna mess that up. And Saban got so high and mighty on his own, and same with Dabo Sweeney, same thing. They both complaining.
Mm-hmm.
Both of them are complaining, because they got this pristine reputation, but they all about themselves.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That's it.
Real. But nah, great. Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. We should have talked about this at the top of the show, because that a real highlighted incident that happened over the last few days. So thanks, Wes.
No problem.
But yeah, y'all, Mad Izm Sports, Hakim, Coach E, Wes, Cliff, we out.
Yeah, we out.
Peace.
Peace.
All right, gentlemen. Peace.